My name is Gene Vaught. I am an attorney here in Myrtle Beach with McCutchen Vaught Geddie. I am an Horry County boy. I was born and raised in Conway and grew up in Horry County. Went to high school in Conway, went off to college at the University of South Carolina, and when I graduated from there, I went to law school also at the University of South Carolina. I practiced law for a couple of years in the Columbia area after I graduated law school, but then had the opportunity to return home, so to speak, to Horry County and join the firm that I'm currently with as an associate attorney. Was an associate attorney for about 3 years and then got promoted to a partner and have been there now starting my 26th or 27th year. I am married, got a wonderful wife, Dawn. We have 4 kids and we have 2 great grandchildren. And so I have pretty much been here all my life except for when I was off at college and law school, and this is home for me and home for practically all my family. Since I began practicing law, I have primarily been in the area of what we call personal injury law, and that's kind of a broad, all-encompassing term, but essentially I handle any type of case or claim which involves someone who suffers an injury, or in the case of a death case, a family who has lost a loved one as a result of the negligence or wrongdoing of another. So my practice has always been, now for 27 years or so, personal injury, workers' compensation, defective product litigation, and wrongful death. I've done a little bit of criminal defense work as well. I have done some family law in the past, but at least for the past 20 years, my concentration has been in that personal injury area. Personal injury law is a very broad category of the law, and as a general heading, it encompasses a lot of different things. From my standpoint, my aspect, what I've done for many years, typically can be broken down into about 3 or 4 different types of cases. Personal injury cases, auto accident cases, for example. Someone's injured in an auto accident because someone else was negligent in the operation of their vehicle. So I will handle those cases for that person that is injured in that accident. Premises liability is another area. We do a lot of premises liability injury cases. That's somebody that's gotten injured being on the property of another. Maybe there was some risk, some defective condition on that property which resulted in injury, and the owner of that property knew about it or should have known about it and didn't take the appropriate course of action to correct it. So those are types of cases. Wrongful death cases, that's a very tough area of personal injury law, in that you're dealing with someone who is, or someone's family, and they've lost a loved one as a result of the negligence of someone else. And so you're pursuing a claim on behalf of that estate. That's another area that we deal with. Workers' compensation is a part of injury law, but it's kind of separate and distinct. And then the other type of case that I handle a good bit of is what we call defective product or product liability litigation. That's when someone is injured as a result of some product that is malfunctioned in some way. Every personal injury claim is different. There are no 2 claims, and I've been doing this again for getting close to 30 years, and I can't say that there's ever been 2 that have been exactly the same. There is no magic formula for evaluating what your claim might be worth. There's so many different elements that go into a personal injury claim. What are your medical expenses? How long were you out of work? How extensive was your medical treatment? Are you going to require future treatment? Are you looking at surgery in the future? Do you have a spouse, and did that spouse suffer as a result of what you went through? So all those things and many more are factors that need to be taken into consideration, and based upon those factors and how they may apply to each individual case, we're able to determine what we find is a reasonable maybe range of value for the case, and hopefully be able to get that case resolved without the need of litigation. There are certain basic things that workers' compensation covers or provides for. First of all, as the injured employee, that workers' compensation insurance carrier is going to be responsible for providing you with all reasonable and necessary medical treatment that you need. So they control your medical treatment, but that's because they pay for it. If you are out of work as a result of the injury, if your doctor says you can't return to work, you're going to be out of work for 30 days or whatever, you don't have an income, that's tough. You're trying to provide for yourself, provide for your family. So workers' compensation provides something called temporary benefits that you'll receive while you're out of work until the doctor says that you're able to return. Now that doesn't replace all of the income that you would have otherwise been able to earn, but at least it's something to help you out. And then the other thing, the major thing that workers' compensation provides is that once you have completed your medical treatment, or once you've reached a point where your doctor says you've reached what we call maximum medical improvement, you're as good as you're going to get, so to speak, you're going to be assigned an impairment rating, which is going to address any permanent disability limitations, restrictions that you might have, and as a result of that, you're going to be entitled to an award. The wrongful death claim is actually pursued by the personal representative of the estate. So when you have a loved one that passes away, there is a process that's handled by our probate court in which a member of the family, and that depends, if someone is married, usually it's the spouse, sometimes it's a mother or father, sometimes it's a brother or sister, but it could be any relative who's willing to serve as long as the other family members who have that equal right to serve are okay with that. But that person would apply to the probate court, be appointed as the personal representative, and then as personal representative of the estate, they could pursue any claims on behalf of the estate. In a wrongful death claim, as opposed to, let's say, a minor work-related injury or a minor automobile accident, I think you're always better served if you have an attorney representing you. That is certainly one claim that I would never try to pursue as a layperson on my own without the assistance of an attorney. Products liability is a relatively broad term encompassing a certain area of the law. And what we're dealing with when we're talking about products liability, we also call it defective product law, is someone has suffered an injury or damages as a result of some malfunction of a product. That product could be any type of product you could think of. It can be a small child's toy which somehow malfunctioned or broke and caused injury to that child. It could be a medical product, a medical instrument that did not perform correctly. It could be some large piece of construction equipment that malfunctioned. But if someone is injured, suffers damages as a result of what they believe to be the defectiveness of a product, then that would fall under product liability law. If you have been injured or suffered damages as a result of what you believe to be a defect in a product, the first thing we do as attorneys who practice in that area is to try to determine what type of defect we might be dealing with. It could be a manufacturing defect, a defect that occurred somewhere along the manufacturing process. Something went wrong along the assembly line, and that's what caused this product to malfunction. It could be a design defect. The manufacturing process worked just right, but somewhere back before, when they were drawing up the blueprints and the designs, somebody didn't take into consideration certain things that they should have, and as a result, this product was designed defectively, it did not function properly, and it caused injury to someone. The other type of defect could be the lack of proper instructions or warnings. Okay, the manufacturing process was fine, the design was fine, but the person was injured using this product in a way that they felt was the appropriate way, and there were no instructions or not appropriate instructions or warnings saying you cannot use it that way. So as a result of the failure to warn or properly advise or instruct, that person suffered injuries. All three of those types of defect exist, and that's what we're looking at when we talk about defective product law. How can you represent somebody that's charged with a crime? How can you represent somebody that you know is guilty? First and foremost, we have this thing called a Constitution with a Bill of Rights that guarantees us certain rights. We have a judicial system which certainly has its flaws, but I still think is the best system in the world today. And certain things are guaranteed to people, and one of those things is that you're innocent until proven guilty, and in a criminal context, that's beyond a reasonable doubt. And it's that presumption of innocence that this judicial system is based on. Now, anybody can be accused of something. Anybody can be charged with something. That doesn't necessarily mean they're guilty of something. What I do in criminal defense, in large part, and the people that I try to help in that area of the law, are for the most part people who are good people. They just made a bad decision. And so my job is to try to work through that situation with them and try to get the best resolution for them so they can learn from it, they can get better from it, and that it won't be something that ruins their life forever. What keeps me going day to day, what keeps me going back to the office, it's the sense of accomplishment, the gratitude that you have when you help somebody, when you see somebody who comes to you whose life is turned upside down because of an accident, because of some serious situation like that, and they don't know where to turn. And I spend so much of my time as a lawyer just talking to people, counseling people, and that's, I guess, why they call us attorneys and counselors at law. And so the satisfaction of being able to help somebody that's in a difficult situation, help them get back on their feet and get back to the life they knew before, say, a bad injury, that's the most gratifying and satisfying thing for me.